you should all be able to hear me. So hello everybody. Welcome to more of Hate Mapping Bennu. I am your host Annie Wilson, and I am going to get some music going because music. Put that on ducking so you can hear me over it. And yeah, let me pop out chat so I can see everything y'all are saying. Oh, apparently I have already popped out chat. I have so many windows open. So right now we are at 151 images completed. Or no, 151 images to go. I changed the stream title, so if you refresh, it should update the stream title. It should update the stream tags. Because apparently I'm the one that updates the stream tags mostly. Like, we forgot to put on news for news today. So there are dogs. I don't think they realize what's happening, but there are dogs. And, yeah. There we go. Now we got some dogs on stream. Okay, so, yeah, let's get at it, shall we? Launch application, and 1, 2, 3, go! Alright, I am at 89 images. I know Walker is at 46. So, Misstown, you've got 4 more images to go. You can do this. I do have some news, some swag-related news to share. We got the breakdown of how much of what the Osiris Rex team can spare. And I can confirm that everyone that has done over 1,000 images is indeed getting a t-shirt. And there's a bunch of other swag right now. So it really depends on how many more people join the leaderboard and things of that nature. But I think I'm going to, because I'm going to be in charge of essentially emailing out the what's it called? I'll be in charge of emailing out the surveys to the different groups, because I need to look again once we're all done to see how I want to break this down. But I can say for certain that everyone that's done over 1,000 images will get a t-shirt, even if, you know, you need something that's not like, quote, a standard size t-shirt. And we're looking at, we have large and small pins, or no, large and small stickers, pins, 2 different types of pins. We have the commemorative landing pin, which there's only about 30 of those, and there's way more of the other pins. There's a small amount of lanyards, and small amount of Osiris Rex lanyards. There's a lot of info packets, like informational pamphlets. There's a lot of build your own model spacecraft, papercraft. And yeah, there's a lot of small stickers, there's a lot of large stickers, there's a lot of non-launch pins, just mission pins. Informational pamphlets and build your own spacecraft. So how this is going to work for distribution is I'm going to start with the people that have 1,000 or more images done. Oh no, Twitch stopped responding. That's no good, Veronica. So how this is going to work for distribution is I am going to email the people that have 1,000 or more images, essentially be like, what size t-shirt you want, and here's a pic of, you know, what other swag would you like? And we're essentially going to break it down like that. Because I realize not everybody wants all the swag, but I do want to make sure that, you know, people have a way to opt out. So it's kind of a weird way to put it. And because some people might just want a pin or a sticker or a lanyard or just a t-shirt. So that's how I'm setting it up right now. And then from after 1,000, I'll probably do the 500 to 1,000 group And then from there, I'm not sure how I'm going to break it down. I will actually have to run the numbers to see how many people have done how many images. So, I mean, I've actually broken that down, but I have it broken down as how it is on the leaderboard, and I haven't done any more like fine tooth breaking it down. And maybe I don't need to, who knows? So, Tinker wants more bits. So that's how that's gonna work. Is essentially I'm starting from the top of the leaderboard and going down. Certificates are probably honestly going to be the last thing that goes out, simply because there's going to be a lot of them, and I probably will do the same, as in the people that have done the most, that have marked the most number of images, down to, you know, the people that marked one image. So, and there's going to be some data verification in there. So if you drop on the leaderboard a little bit, it's because you submitted a bunch of blank images, and it is actually my job today to come up with a query. I know, buddy, I fed you an hour ago. It's my job today, tomorrow, this week, to actually come up with a query to find and flag all of those entries that are blank. So I'm not sure if that's going to get incorporated into the leaderboard code or not. So yeah, the cat's yelling. I have treats for him. He must be really hungry today. Are you really hungry today? You want to come here? Come here. Where's your treats? I think I need to buy more treats. Good thing Friday's payday, huh? Yeah. Bits feed pets. I know. Come here. Oof. Yeah. Is this really what you've been after all morning? I think low-key this is what you've been after all morning. So he's not on screen, but he is on my lap right in front of, he's actually between me and the keyboard. And my mouse. So, see if I can get him. Yeah, there's a dog. Tinker's like, the cat's getting a treat. Why am I not getting a treat? Yeah, problem exists between keyboard. Between cat and keyboard. Nice. Nice. There's actually a command for that now, Miss Town. I can't remember if it's Tinker or Soul or Tink. Yes, you can move the dots, Planetary Fan. Which is probably the only reason why I do rocks after boulders, is because you can move the dots. So for those of you that didn't catch it, so let me drop a dot. Where's a good example? Alright, so I'm going to drop a dot here where there's nothing under the dot. You just click it, pick it up, and drag it to where you want to put it. And like that's a good rock candidate. And then here where it's already starting to act up, it's gonna do that error bug thing again. And when you click elsewhere, it just drops another dot. I just pick up the dot and move it back to where it goes. So. Dragon dot, so to say. Tinker is staring deep into your eyes, stealing your soul. Yeah, that's all Corey's doing. We don't know what black magic Corey worked to make that happen. But we know that that was Corey's doing. So. You know, I am real hyped to hit 100 images today. And I never thought I would get 100 images done. Not gonna lie, I opened up my first Bennu image and I was like, nope! But, you know, somebody's gotta be the cheerleader. And I do this way more infrequently than some of you. Yes, Stoneheart Boy. I heard about something about how Russia wasn't letting people in to test radiation levels. I think Favorite Human shared that with me this morning as I was waking up with a headache. Are you good? Yeah, no, I didn't think we'd still be doing this in August. I wanted to be done. Midtown says, there's only one reason why I'm getting 50. Hey, you know, I know how to motivate you, Midtown. So for those of you that aren't aware of why Midtown is desperately hitting 50 to get on the leaderboard, is I promised him homemade candy, essentially, if he got on the leaderboard. So the reason why I'm promising this to Walker and nobody else is because I know Walker. I've met Walker. Walker kind of followed me here because I said, hey, I'm doing the streaming bit, and has, you know, since been part of the community. So yeah. And the fat man is tired of being hungry. Yeah. Favorite Human wants me to make coconut macaroons, so I make no promises about there also being coconut macaroons. He followed you here, you can keep him. Aww. Did you hear that? Vinstown, I get to keep you. Because you followed me. But Midtown lives in California, which is not at all anywhere near Youngstown, Ohio, for those of you that know. Midtown asks, does that mean I get to move in? I don't know how Favorite Human would feel about that, but yeah, if I was still living alone, I'd be like, alright, Walker, you know, figure out how to get here. Come be my roommate. Planetary Pan says, see that spot where Tinka's standing? You'll be sleeping there. I know you don't leave your room and you keep to yourself. And there's a doggy door. So your dog could learn how to use the doggy door. Now that Tinker has seen that the cat is down and about, so Tinker is now off licking the cat. Yeah, no, you won't fit through the doggy door, Miss Town. I think I might still fit through the doggy door. I know the last time I did it, I had to take off my coat, and then I was assaulted by dogs, like, almost immediately. Like, we're so happy to see you, Mom. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get in. I forgot my key. And it was the middle of winter. You thought they would have met me out at the gate. They did not. Where'd you go, cat? Oh, okay. You're right there. So. Maybe you must draw more green lines on big rocks. Maybe. I mean, I'm getting pretty close to thinking that this image is about done. I'm not sure if I see craters. Like, maybe that might be part of, this might be part of a crater by how round it is. Doc Bruce is real good at spotting craters now. Like, he spots craters I didn't even think were there. This might be a crater, but it might also be a trick of the eye, simply because of how the shadow from this boulder is. And I'm not sure, so I'm not going to mark it. Bottom left has a few more. Planetary Pan says, I never saw a crater. I disbelieve any exist here. It's okay, Stoneheart Boy. 14 other people will look at the image. You know, we combine all the marks, we verify them. We're going to verify them. We don't have that in place yet. You know, some people overmark and some people undermark, and I think when it comes out and is all done, it just all comes out in the wash. Hey, Wayne Johnson. I think when it's all said and done, everything averages out. Obviously, the people that do more images are just because there's more data points. Like, their marks are going to get a whole lot more weight, which is what Dr. Pamela was talking about in the stream the other night. Oh, did somebody ask about... Oh. Hi, Stoneheart Boy. DPI answered it, and... It's 5 centimeters a pixel, as DPI said, and the images are 22.5 meters by 22.5 meters. If you are from the US and you don't know what 5 centimeters looks like, take a dollar bill and fold it into thirds. That's about 5 centimeters. I think somebody said last night that just under 2 inches is 5 centimeters. And I'm not going to trigger everybody's, you know, Amazon echoes. DPI says, wait, let me get a dollar bill. Okay, good. I'm glad you understand metric. We got into a very active discussion last night. Oh, and the pinky fingers are about 1 centimeter. That's also good. See, but I know people with like really big pinky fingers and like people with real thin pinky fingers. Oh, okay, sorry, me. Oh no, I'm just glad you understand metric. I'm used to, because I live in the US, I'm used to people not understanding metric. So I do my best to take like common objects and be like, okay, this is about that. So when I talk about kilograms, I actually talk about 2-liter bottles of soda, because for whatever reason here in the US, I'm sure there is a reason, but for whatever reason, milk is sold in gallons and soda is sold in usually fractions of a liter, unless you're getting down into like the 20-ounce bottles or the 12-ounce cans. Those are the only 2 exceptions. When I was little, I remember 3-liter bottles. I've seen 2-liter bottles is the most common. You can even get 1-liter bottles, but 2-liter bottles are the most common bottle. Or a pencil. Oh, that's also good. So Stoneheart Boy asked, the rocks on top must be about 4 to 6 meters, I guess? Yes. Yeah. DPI says, can confirm a dollar bill folded in thirds is roughly 5 centimeters or 2 inches. So, yeah, you want to know how I know that, DPI? I was looking for, we were talking about, or I knew I was going to be talking about CubeSats. And a CubeSat is something like 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. It's not always that, but a 1 unit CubeSat is about that. So I was like, okay, what do I have handy here on my desk that is about 10 centimeters? What can I pick up and easily be like, I'm not gonna let that through, Mythtown, but I agree. But so I was like, what do I have on my desk that most Americans would have that they can quickly do something with to see how big this is? And it turned out that a dollar bill folded into 2/3 is about 10 centimeters. So that's why I said, you know, you fold a dollar bill into thirds and that's 5 centimeters. So to get 10 centimeters, you just unfold a fold. And, you know, dollar bills, actually all of the bills in the US are the same size. So yeah, you can do that with a 20, you can do that with a 50, you can do that with a $100 bill, you can do it with a $10 bill, but still, The same thing, you fold it into thirds and that's 5 centimeters. You unfold it and that's 10 centimeters, and that's, or roughly 10 centimeters, and that's about the size of one side of a CubeSat. Oh, that's also good to go. DPI says, it would amaze me if most Americans had a dollar bill with them. I should actually see about credit cards and like driver's licenses, because driver's license is about the same size as or they usually are the same size as a credit card. And most Americans also have that. But I don't know. I feel like using a bill is common enough that most Americans have handled one. So that's just how it is. I definitely do appreciate the how you guys are amused at my, okay, it is 50 kilograms, and I'm like, okay, that's 25 2-liter bottles, because 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram. Soda is mostly water. You got some plastic packaging on there. That's why it's not a perfect example, but just a close example of this is what this weighs. So, I remember because of optics, 50 millimeter binoculars are 2-inch lenses, 4-inch Newtonian, or Newt is 100 millimeters, Veronica says, LOL, since every bill is the same, you could mess with people and say a $50 bill. I'm not even sure the last time when I handled a $50 bill was, so. Actually, yeah, I do. Never mind. Never mind. There was an ATM in Vegas that spit out, I asked for $100, it spit out $100. It was weird. Like a $100 bill. It was so weird. It was like, oh, this is what a new one of these looks like. Because I'm just so used to ATM spitting out $20 bills. So. Yeah, like the $2 bill. Miss John says, I wouldn't know metric if it wasn't for video games. Exactly. I thought there was only 1, 5, 10, 20, 100, and you get eyeballed if you try to use it 20. They check 20, like essentially any denomination of bill over 10. So 20 and above, they do check to make sure it's not counterfeit, which is hilarious because I think most of the counterfeit bills in the world are like $1. Because they're worth so little, nobody thinks to check them. So, yeah, and most people aren't used to seeing $2 bills. I'm amused because we have like Puck's done a flop. Yeah, 20s are the most common out of ATMs. It was just that one ATM in Vegas was like, here's a $100 bill. Like, oh, okay then. Hey, Bits, thank you. So, and speak. Good job, guys. Cat's like, where's my Bits? I know, I might have to get up and take a break just because of you. But the bills all being the same size and not having any tactile difference to them actually causes a problem for the blind and visually impaired community. And there's a couple different ways that they can handle that, but it's, you know, it's still kind of scary. If you pay with cash, you know, have to trust that the people giving you the money back are giving you the correct bills. So, Open Cage says, I think I have a $1 bill. I've never been to America. Ah, okay. So thanks for the correction, Bill. hundreds or tens and 20s are prime targets for the counterfeiters, common enough to be overlooked but valuable to be maybe worth the risk. Yeah. And yeah, Planetary Pan, a lot of places have switched to like a $1 coin. We've tried to make that switch. I remember that being attempted, and people were just like, no. People here also don't want to get rid of the penny, which is silly because it costs more than a penny to make a penny. And the penny, like all the metal worth in the penny, I think is less than actually a penny. I am all in favor for pennies dying. I really am. TPI says, I've been in the US once, didn't have a credit card, so frequently visited the ATM, paid everything by cash. I got more than one funny look. Yeah. I had some of the opposite experiences in other countries. I would try to pay by card and people would be like, no, we only take cash. Yeah. There's a bunch of people that are hoarding or that are literally hoarding older pennies that are all copper, because the newer ones are not made of all copper. They're hoarding them and waiting for the penny to just essentially be killed so they can take these pennies and have them melted down and, you know, essentially get paid for all the copper. So, yeah, I've heard that Japan is almost cash exclusive. And that, you know, ATMs aren't always open on the weekends, so you have to essentially, like, make sure you head to the ATM on Friday for the weekend. Ah, yeah, I wondered if they were made out of mostly zinc, Susie. Alright, so that should be 90 or 91. I don't know, I'd have to check the leaderboard. Oh! Japan post ATMs are in post offices. If the office is closed, so are the ATMs. That's terrifying. Favorite human really wants to visit Japan. There's a program that'll let us essentially teach English in Japan if, you know, we're selected. All right. Kat, where are you going? I don't like it when you head that direction, Kat. It makes me anxious. All right. I think we're going to have to pause and so I can feed the cat. I'll be right back. Do. Okay, catastrophe averted, pun intended. Oh, there are 3 banks that take foreign credit cards. One is 7 Bank, which is in ATM inside 7-Eleven stores, and 7-Eleven stores are going to be open more than things. Fast House says tweakers go around stealing copper from AC units, park signs, memorials, etc. LOL. LOL, this dog. Yeah, she's good at that. She's stealing your soul right now. Tinker, can you sit, please? She's not gonna sit. She's literally waiting for me to throw Cheerios. That's literally what she's waiting for. Hey, speak. Good girl. Oh, thank you for the bits, Veronica. And speak. Good job, guys. The dogs say thank you. I say thank you. Oh my. Hey, Puck, come here. Puck, come here, Puck. Come here, Puck. You're gonna have to go in timeout. Come on, come here. Come here. Get in the crate. Get in the crate. There you go. You have to go in timeout now. That is the nice thing about having the dog crate right next to my desk. Yeah, Puck gets a little aggressive with his food. So, but yeah, they're fun. They're fun. It's just Puck doesn't like to share. All right, back to mapping. Yes, and I live in Youngstown. I am not shy about the fact that I live in Youngstown. So there's a lot of abandoned buildings here, and that's actually a common problem. If a building sits empty for too long and looks like it's neglected in the city limits, it doesn't take much for people to come through and start tearing out the copper. And when that happens, the house deteriorates rapidly because, you know, at that point you've got broken windows and doors and things of that nature, and the city will come down and knock them down, usually within a year. Which happened, earlier this summer to the house kind of across the street from me. So, don't be growling. Don't be growling, you're fine. So yeah, metal thieves are definitely a problem in Ohio. Youngstown specifically, and I've even seen signs in buildings that say there is no copper inside. I love my neighbors. Jeff asks, I've been making textures for my game recently. What method do you use to put textures on mesh? Do you paint it on a single ground mesh? Give me 1 second, Jeff. So I haven't done a whole lot of graphic stuff recently, Jeff, but I would use, to give it texture, I've used bump mapping. I think the biggest thing for ground textures is that you want it to be able to tile. So I don't know about painting, and everything I've ever done is within Blender, and I have a love-hate relationship with Blender, meaning I love to hate it. I have not used a whole lot of the new Blender. I've not done a whole lot of cycles. When I learned Blender, they were still using the old render engine. I think they've officially stopped support for the render engine. So I just know every time that I've done ground texture mapping, it's been generated procedurally, or I've used bump mapping to kind of give it some texture. So Open Cage says, one might name a dog Copper. You know what to do. Man, I don't know. I could see that going wrong in the wrong neighborhoods. Oh, wow. Veronica says, here they tried to take stuff from an abandoned brewery and caused a leak of hydraulic fluid. Yeah, I mean, the people that are taking this, you know, the copper and stuff like that, they don't always understand what they're tearing it from. It's one thing to tear copper, you know, from power lines from within a house. So you take that, you know, you burn the rubber off, you take it in for recycling, but when you're taking apart machinery and you don't understand all the machinery, that can lead to a problem. So, are you comfy? He's like, yes. That can definitely lead to a problem. Oh no! It caused a mess because the brewery is uphill from a river that feeds a lake. Yeah, I imagine that was a big cleanup. So my dogs are very sensitive to people honking their horns and kids screaming outside, and both of those happened. And I don't know which neighbor is doing it, and I've been advised to not get involved. I think I've yelled at them once, and Favorite Human was mortified. In funny news, I'll have to check that out later, Planetary Fan. And I was just... Favorite Human was mortified that I was yelling at them, because I was like, come on, just get out of your car and get up and go knock on the door. Why are you honking your horn? It is a major pet peeve of mine. Mostly because it sets my dogs off. My dad did it once, and I had to come out and be like, I was in the middle of getting ready, and now I have to go back in and calm my dogs down, and I'm not ready because now I have to go in and calm my dogs down and deal with that because you honked your horn. Clickety click click click. No, I know you have strong opinions on the outside world. I know you do. So many rocks! Clickety clackety. Yeah. Is it really picking up every mouse click? This poor... I think Bennu has killed my trackball. And I was supposed to get a new trackball. But no. It apparently disappeared off my porch. And I have to call UPS later to verify with them again that I have never received this package. If it wasn't a $100 trackball, I wouldn't even care. But, yeah. I think this is the last time I'm gonna have, like, valuable stuff left at my house. Because it's something that they do here. Usually I'm home when they deliver. This was a case of... First I thought it was never delivered because apparently there's a thing where they just won't deliver the box. They'll mark it as delivered, but it's not actually delivered. So I was like, okay, fine. Maybe it'll show up tomorrow. Or the next business day. And it didn't show up the next business day. But that's what they do for home delivery is they just leave it on the porch. They're like, did you check the bushes, your garage? You know, did you check with your neighbors? And I'm like, there's no bushes to throw it into. You can't get into the garage. The only thing I haven't done is check with the neighbors, and I don't think my neighbors have it. Because he said that The driver said that they'd left it on my porch, so yeah. Yeah, Veronica, Amazon totally leaves or takes a picture of where they deliver the package, and I have met the Amazon driver out front of my door because I knew she had a bunch of boxes that day. And she actually cannot scan them in unless she's standing on my porch because of the geofencing. And I think that was the only time that they didn't take a picture is because they literally handed the boxes to me. Unknown parcel switch. Yeah. And, yeah. But I appreciate the fact that Amazon sent... I thought it was weird at first. Especially because I would often get the email after I had found the package. But I've come to really appreciate it. I know exactly where they've left it. It leaves 0 questions, and it is definitely proof that it's been delivered. So many rocks in this image. Alright, buddy, are you calmed down now? Can I let you back out? It's like, I don't know, Mom. Oof, oof, oof. Okay, so we're below 150. We're definitely going to be done by Monday. This is exciting. Ah, you have to get out to get it. Okay. Now, Amazon likes to, oh, we're at 148. Awesome. Amazon likes to, like, lean it up against my grill, so they don't put it immediately in front of my door. I do actually have to step out onto the porch to grab it. So. Oh no, not the yawn. Alright, click image done. It's thinking about it. There it goes. I was like, I'm gonna take a break, but I think I can do this one. It's mostly big boulders. I still need to brew coffee. I actually need to add that to my list of things to do today. I found the last bit of coffee because Favorite Human is an amazing human being, and he left me the last bit of coffee in the fridge. So at some point tonight, I'm going to have to sit and grind coffee beans because I have a manual grinder because I only make coffee once a week. So I'm going to have to sit and grind coffee beans and then finish cleaning out the mason jar that I use to steep the coffee in, and then shove it all in the fridge and forget about it until morning. Ooh, yeah, that does make it less visible from the road. UPS will sometimes leave it directly in front of my door. Sometimes they'll leave it on the very edge of my porch, which is really annoying because you can see it as, you know, you drive by. Yeah. I'm just really annoyed because it's a $100 trackball that I could have ordered through Best Buy and picked up in store and had it instead of, like, 2 weeks later. I still don't have my very expensive trackball. Ah, that is nice that there's only one way in and one way out. See, I live on a very short street. I think it's like 2 blocks. So there's not a whole lot of traffic because there's no point in cutting through. Yeah? Are you just gonna whine for more? So FedEx gives me the FedEx usually, when a company ships with FedEx, like Newegg for example, they give me the option of picking it up from a store. And I think I might just start doing that for everything. So, in Manic Mansion, the package wasn't even on the porch. It's like it was thrown from a moving vehicle. The only thing stolen from my porch was a 3-gallon bottle of water. I've had a bike stolen. I've had a car broken into. Not my car. It was a roommate's car. And she was parked on the street. Haven't had a car that's parked in the drive broken into. But somebody had gone up and down the street and broken into a lot of cars. I met one of my neighbors that way. She's pretty nice. Because I found like all of her stuff all over the street. It was like family pictures, things of that nature, and was able to actually, track her down through Facebook and be like, hey, I don't know where you live, but I found your stuff in the middle of the road. So she didn't get back like her debit cards and stuff, but she was able to get back, mementos and things. So I don't live in like the greatest neighborhood, but it is definitely not the worst neighborhood. And I've lived here for 8 years. So, yeah. So many rocks. Tinker, why is there so many rocks? I know. Yeah. I think I could also say that about my neighborhood. I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, there are neighbors here that don't feel safe at all in this neighborhood, and then there's me who's like, sure, I'll go walking around late at night. I don't have a problem. I feel perfectly safe here. So, 147, awesome. And they actually did a survey of my neighborhood for science of exactly that, safety and whatnot. And some of the questions they asked were like, how safe do you feel? I'm like, people feel unsafe here? Alright. Thanks for doing a science, Veronica. Hope your appointment goes well. Tinker, you're not even on screen and you're whining. Dave, who's been here, is like, your neighborhood is fine. It's fine. Like, yeah, there's a couple issues, but it's not like... It's not the worst. Dave says, I've stayed in much worse. Yeah. I've accidentally meandered into much worse. But there are a lot of families. There's a decent number of retirees. So, you know. Okay. A boulder on a boulder. Isn't that cute? Tinkerbell. How many Cheerios are enough? Just like no amount of Cheerios is enough. All right, I'm gonna call this image done. And we're gonna look at the leaderboard real quick. Aw, that's kind of sweet, Miss Town. Walker says, Tucker saw your dogs getting food earlier. He wanted the food. Oh, I'm sorry, Tucker. If I was really motivated, I'd send dog treats for Tucker too, but I don't know if I'm gonna be that motivated. And I don't think I see any craters. Oh, this might be a crater. You know what? We're gonna mark it as a crater. It is awfully circular. Oh, you did get him up. Hey, Dexter. Not much. We're just doing a science. So we're working on Bennu right now. We have, I think it's 148 images left. I just want Bennu to be done. We want Bennu to be done. Bennu has... Oh, thanks for following. I'll show you what happens when people follow. See the little dash hound? See the little dash hound? Actually, let me transition for better effect. Hey, Tinker. Good job. And make it rain. Yes, I throw Cheerios at my dog when, you know, alerts pop up on my screen. And my dog enjoys it, and we enjoy it. And yeah, there are 2 dogs, and there's a cat. The cat has been fed multiple times, so he should be quiet. The other dog is still in time out because he decided to get a little food aggressive. He didn't want to share the Cheerios. So he's just chilling in his crate next to me. But yeah, there are definitely animals on the stream. And science. The Big Mac is with Susie now? Awesome! Susie says, I wonder if I've made it to the bottom of the leaderboard yet. Well, there's only one way to find out. I'm going to click Image Done. And it takes a second. Oh yeah, I am noping out of this image. So I'm going to nope out of that image right away. So here's the leaderboard. Leaderboard. And I think I have it up on the other screen. So I'm just going to... And I lost everything. Just going to bring it up over here. Refresh. Actually, invert colors. That's better. And then refresh. And let me get this all set up in a way that can be seen. And here is the current leaderboard. So Nilium and Mike Cassidy 2 have ran out of images, and I think Nilium's second account, I think, has ran out of images because this is also Nilium. This Malian account, this is also Nilium. So we have a couple superheroes. Pretty much anyone that's done over 1,000 images is a superhero. Nilium and Mike have been amazing. Because between... We'll see, Mike Cassidy's second account has already gotten 589. See, but there's, see, it just says Mike Cassidy 2, but there is no Mike Cassidy 1. So that's why I'm like, this is his first account. And Mike Cassidy 3 is his second account. I think he has just one that says Mike Cassidy that he used for other parts of the website. I am not to 100 yet. Where am I though? I'm at 92, so I have 8 more images to go. And I pretty much want to knock all 8 out today because I don't know if they'll be there tomorrow. But yeah, Nilium has indeed made a third account. And essentially, if you've done over 50 images, you're on the leaderboard. So I actually have the database up. Come on. And moving the database to where I can see it. So I can check, like I'm going to check now to see like where Walker is. Walker, you only have 1 more to do. Oh, I know. I just don't want to do that image, so I'm hoping that that image goes away. And then Susie, you have 19. So you're doing pretty good. Planetary Pan's like, I'll be over here with my 2. You just hit image done. Let me refresh the database. Yeah! And let me refresh the leaderboard for everybody else. So yeah, there's Walker with his 50, and we're gonna throw Cheerios. Oh yeah! And make it rain! Make it rain! Let me check. Do I work in any space agency? Kind of? If you're thinking that I work for NASA, I do not work for NASA. I work for Planetary Science Institute out of Tucson, Arizona. And I am actually not the only host of this channel. I am... It says you have 1 Planetary Pan. Let me search by your name. It says you have 1 Planetary Pan. Yeah, I don't work for NASA. I work for PSI. That's Planetary Science Institute. I also have an office at Youngstown State University, where I haven't been in quite some time. And, yeah. So at Youngstown State, I worked in the planetarium as an undergrad. Mostly as their computer person, because my background is actually in computer science. I know just enough astronomy to be dangerous. Literally. I am not the astronomer of the channel. That is Dr. Pamela. She is doing paperwork right now, and I'm essentially here cheerleading everybody on to do more science, to get Bennu done, so she can do paperwork. It sounds, you know, kind of boring, but Bennu, like laundry, needs to be done. Unlike laundry, once Bennu is done, it's done. Laundry just goes on forever. I say this because I have a lot of laundry to do still. But yeah, I am considered a informal educator, but it's a little weird because my formal education background is all like computer science and, you know, so on and so forth. But I worked in the astronomy department, physics and astronomy department at YSU. I know both of the astronomers there. I still do, I mean, I'm still in contact and on good terms with all of them. I just haven't done any programs with them recently. What else? I helped troubleshoot a starball. That was actually pretty cool. It was really frustrating. And I can point out odd constellations, but I definitely know how many toilets are in space. There are 4 toilets in space right now. 4 toilets in space right now, and Russia has burned up over 140. So there have been over 140 space toilets that have burned up in our atmosphere. Oh wow. Tell You Mindall says, I worked as a software developer, mostly enterprise development, but I wish I could use my programming knowledge one day to work in any field of science. No idea how to transition though. I'm not sure. I know that a lot of scientists end up having to learn how to program, and I really don't know how to transition into science because I just kind of ended up here. I mean, a lot of people, I know a lot of job postings are like, okay, you need to have X, Y, and Z understanding of X, Y, and Z. So I think the best way is to just kind of pick a specialty, you know, that intrigues you, and just start doing research on that. Start, if you can afford it, start going to conferences, start networking, just start finding, you know, people that are associated with the kind of programs you want to do. And I know part of our website code is now open source. There's more information in our Discord about it. So yeah. Oh, you have a BA in music, so your education doesn't really help either. Oh, I'm glad, I have met somebody else that's just very misplaced as well. Our instructor's giving me a hard time because he's like, we were just at the planetarium. And it's true. Dave was kind enough to take me to YSU, to go to my office, to get in my drawer to grab the mug for Veronica. I'm laughing because Hangoutathon was in December and it's now August. To get this mug for Veronica. And, yeah, it's... And while I was there, because I still have keys to the planetarium, it was like, hey, look at the planetarium. I'm not going to turn on any equipment because I don't remember how to do any of it, because it has actually been several years since I've ran any of the equipment. Plus, they've gotten another new piece of equipment after I graduated. So, yeah. And because I don't want to break anything, I'm not touching it. So, but yeah, I showed him the planetarium. None of the astronomers were in. None of the astronomy people were in. So, yeah. Yeah. Or it's all one big dumpster fire. Indeed. Okay, so that was the leaderboard. Fix things again. I think Tinker decided to go outside and just do whatever Tinker things she does. Refresh this. We're at 146. And I have what? 8 more images to go. Oof, oof, oof. I can do this. I can do this. What about a last spreadsheet update? Let me do... So I have 8 more images to go. So, because I know I need to pace myself, because otherwise I just, hooray! Good, Planetary Pan. Let me do 2 or 3 images, and then we'll pause for a spreadsheet update. And then I'll get back at it, because this is probably going to be the most number of images I've ever done during a live stream, and I feel like we are going to be going for a while. And at some point I am going to have to get up and get a break, because Hydration Bot's mad at me that I haven't, well, it's not mad at me, but it's reminded me that I need to drink water, and all I've had is milk and coffee. So, oof, oof, oof. Oh, I didn't turn the dog cam back on. It doesn't matter, there's no dogs. Oh no, it gave me the same image. I was so hoping I wouldn't get this image. I was so hoping. Look at me. DPI says, I could help you decide on a beer. What do you have? It's not 9 p.m. streamer time, so I can't drink a beer while I do this. Planetary Pan says, that's just the one I did. Yeah, it's full of hate. So to be fair, I like sour beers, DPI. I don't like IPAs, so if you have an IPA, I'm probably gonna go, eh. I like sours and stouts. Ripper and Rumination. Really? That's the name of the... Okay, based on the name alone, that's the one you should have. Ripper and Rumination. Hi, Nightwalkers. So, we are mapping Bennu. And the lines that you see on your screen right now are the boulder marking lines. And each image is 22.5 meters by 22.5 meters. Each pixel is 5 centimeters. If you happen to be American, pick up your nearest dollar bill or any denomination bill, fold that into thirds, and that's 5 centimeters. The lines are to mark the boulders, and the dots are going to be for the rock tool. And I haven't busted out the rock tool because I tend to mark boulders first. Everybody has their own style of marking this, but oh man. And yeah, Bennu just needs to be done. Bennu has consumed my summer. I am not happy about the fact Bennu has consumed my summer. I hate mapping Bennu, but I have a goal to get 100 images done. So I am trying to meet that goal today. And then I can spend the rest of the week getting ready to travel again. And doing things like that. So, oh, San Diego. What's a San Diego Pale Ale? Alright, DPI. Have the San Diego Pale Ale, just because I don't know what it is. And yes, they are going to do a touch and go maneuver. And it's literally going to like kiss the asteroid. And I don't know if I have enough things to demonstrate how it's going to work. You want? Let's make it happen. I don't know where Tinker is, Buck, so I'll let you out. So this, let me flip to the other view so you can see it a little better. So this is like a nice flat surface that we would love for a rover to do a touch and go sample acquisition from. What should I use as my sample acquisition thing? Let's use the Mio bottle. So, you know, in a perfect world, this little Mio bottle, this little bottle being the spacecraft with the thingy attached, would touch, blow some canned nitrogen out so it stirs up some debris and goes into the sample collection thing, and then just lifts back off. So, nice, perfect, fairly smooth thing. Now, Bennu's not like that. So I'm just gonna grab some random things off my desk, because my desk needs cleaned. It's pretty much like, what am I okay having Cheerio dust on? Alright, so here's, just imagine this as a bunch of boulders. We've got water bottle cap. Probably not that, that's too small to see. Bag of pretzels from Southwest. My little hydrogen molecule thing, and a thing of lip balm. So think of those as boulders. My dogs are going to come running. And then here's a handful of Cheerios, and think of all of these as rocks. And the problem we're running into is that these rocks are too big to get sucked up by the, it's kind of hard to tilt this now. These, Cheerios everywhere. These rocks are too big to get sucked up by the sample collection thing. And so here's my sample, or here's my little spacecraft. So now if it does a touch and go maneuver on this big red boulder, it doesn't meet properly and can actually tilt and then come back off at an angle, which could be problematic. It could land on all of these rocks and not be able to gather a sample. So I'm going to rotate this because there's a very small clear spot. So a very small clear spot where it can touch, you know, blow the liquid nitrogen and go away and collect a sample from there. And there are 4 sample sites selected. So this is more of, you know, let's do a science on the remaining images. And let me clean up here. All right, Tinkerbell, you're waiting patiently. You're not on screen, but you're waiting patiently. A lot of Cheerio dust everywhere from that. So there's already 4 potential sample sites. They can do the touch and go maneuver 3 times. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. But a big problem was that they didn't think Bennu was going to look like this. They thought Bennu would look like Itokawa, which is the first asteroid that had been visited by a spacecraft that did Hayabusa 1 do sample collection, or did it just do a flyby? I can't remember. But Itokawa is the first asteroid that was visited by, or it was the asteroid visited by Hayabusa, which was a Japanese mission. And it just didn't collect a lot. Okay. It collected some material, but Itokawa is mostly smooth, had a few craters, a few boulders, a few rocks. So the OSIRIS-REx team, having that as their only data point, was like, okay, this is probably going to be another smooth asteroid with plenty of landing space to go, so we just need to like go and map it and we'll find plenty of, you know, potential landing sites. Nope. Nobody expected this. They expected to see some rocks, some boulders, some craters, but they were not expecting a gravel pile. And that's what happens sometimes with science. You get things you weren't expecting. So instead of taking 3 images, or 3 minutes for like an average person to mark an image, it can take some people up to 10-15 minutes to mark a single image, because there's so many rocks, there's so many boulders, there's so much stuff. Oh, even Rosetta had stretches of dusty, sandy areas. Okay, so it wasn't just Itokawa. So we had 2 data points, and they're like, all right, both of these data points point to, you know, sandy areas where we can collect stuff from. So yeah, and also it's not uncommon for somebody to take 20 to 30 minutes to mark a single image like it does for Dave. I'm not sure how long I'm at, because I'm, you know, talking and streaming and dealing with my pets while I do this. Because quite frankly, I don't mark off stream. I just don't do it. I really don't. If I did, I'd probably hit way past 100 right now. Yeah. DPI says, also originally they wanted an area of roughly the size of 4 of those images as a landing spot. Now the smaller ones are 1/8 and the larger 1/4 of the size of one of these images. Yep, they had to make a lot of changes. The team also was expecting us to take a year to mark all of these images, but they didn't bother to communicate that to us, I guess, because they just needed the data in July. They're like, all right, we need this data in July, but what they apparently didn't say is, we think this is going to take a year to get the data, which is why they were like, okay, yeah, sure, you can have an extension. So we're doing better than the team is expecting. We found a lot of things that the team was like, hey, that's cool. Like shiny rocks and like letter-shaped rocks, and Dave found like a moth. Yeah. So, I'm convinced Bennu is a gravel pit. Bennu does like spit rocks or fart rocks, or however you want to think about it, back into or off of its surface. I wouldn't say into its atmosphere. I know you have strong opinions on this, Buck. But rocks do come off of Bennu, and sometimes they land right back on Bennu right away. Sometimes they orbit Bennu for a while. What's up? It's okay. I know. You're just I know. You're just guarding the house. I know. Shh. Shh. It's okay. You're just guarding the house. You're just guarding the Come here. Come here. I know. So you'll like the next image. That means I have to get through this image first. I'm trying to reassure Puck that there's nothing that he needs to kill outside. And he's not believing me that he just needs to go outside. He's like, I'm fine, Mom. I'm fine. I'll stay in here and guard you, Mom. Oop. I didn't want those to go there. I know. I heard it too. think. I don't know. I really don't know what he's barking at. Okay, I think I heard a car door next door. I don't think my neighbors realize I work from home. Planetary Pan says, the image I'm on now can die in a fire. All of these can die in a fire. Bennu can die in a fire. I don't like mapping Bennu. I just want this to be done, and I want to hit 100 images. Like, Cassidy believes that I can get there, and if our superhero believes that I can get to 100 images, I can get to 100 images. He really should get a cape. I don't know if we're going to get him a cape. Mailman came. Mail carrier came. And they apparently wish death upon the mail carrier. Alright. Click a few more rocks here and there. Because I know 14 other people are going to look at this same image. Susie says, my dog just tried to terrify the Amazon delivery person. I'm like, chill dog, it's just a box. They're like, no, it's a stranger on my turf, Mom. You don't understand, Mom. Time for some food. Yeah. I don't know what I'm making for dinner tonight. Alright, image done. It's gonna hang. It's gonna think about it. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right, DPI. I am totally okay with this image. One large boulder there. One large boulder here. I am okay with this. I like boulders. I like images full of boulders. Even bigger boulder on the last one? Or on the next one? Okay. Is it mostly boulders, or is it like one big boulder and like lots of rocks? Why are you apologizing? Oh, it's one big boulder and lots of rocks. Oh. Part of me is like, if I take a break, maybe it'll, you know, not be in my queue. And another part of me is like, it'll still be in your queue, Annie. You know better. A lot of these are submerged. So I'm gonna kind of ignore a lot of the submerged things and just click, 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 clickety click. On so many rocks. I just wish for easy images so I make it to 100. Agreed. I mean, I'm not that far away. I think I can power through it as long as I take enough breaks. I think after this one, I'm going to switch to the spreadsheet. Come on. Switch to the spreadsheet and do that, and then probably get up and get a glass of water, because I haven't done that. I had mooncakes for breakfast. That is no moon. I know. Mooncakes were delicious, though. I wonder if I can, like, order them and have them delivered. Probably. I had a small pack because I meant to share with my mom and Favorite Human's mom, and it just didn't end up happening. So I shared with Favorite Human. I think that was his first time having a mooncake. Yeah, it was good. It was a sweet red bean paste. Susie says, I now have had dim sum thanks to Ernster. It was yummy and my son was thrilled I brought him red bean buns. Oh, I bet he was. I bet the kiddo was thrilled. He didn't take nearly enough pictures of food while he was in China. He really didn't. Yeah, lots of buildings, not enough food. Definitely. Definitely. It's like, I'm in a bus. I'm having fun. I'm going to take pictures of buildings instead of, look at all the food I'm eating. Wait. During after DC? I'm confused. I'm super confused. Are we going to DC? Oh, during Dragon Con. Okay. I was like, what? It's like, oh yeah, Dragon Con. Isn't that this week? Is she really just gonna roll straight from Dragon Con into like... Okay, it's right after the PSI retreat. Gotcha. So So she's rolling right from the PSI retreat into Dragon Con. Gotcha. I understand. Dim sum. DPI asks, so if you're on full retreat, Nightbot will do daily space? I don't know how that's going to work, actually. That is definitely a, yeah, you don't want to be late for your appointment, Planetary Pan. That is definitely a Dr. Pamela question. It sounds like we're going to try to stream if the hotel Wi-Fi allows. My issue is that it's going to be earlier in the day than what I'm used to. Even though my body is still on this weird transition from being on West Coast time for a little bit to being on East Coast time. And Tucson's in that weird spot where it's not... Tucson doesn't follow daylight savings. So, like, I can't just nail it down to a time zone exactly, just be like, okay, and I can't remember the offset. So, yeah, my body's going to want to fight it because it's going to be earlier than I want it to be. That whole thing is me going to fight it because it's going to be earlier. Yeah, I thought they were on Pacific. Like, going west is not so bad. It's coming back east. It's coming back east is the problem. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the whole state of Arizona or if it's just county by county in Arizona. Because I know Phoenix doesn't adjust either. It's because of the second sun they're shining. Food, tuna mayo sandwich. I mean, it's a solid meal. I don't think we have any bread. I think I ate all the bread, and I'm not baking bread. Oof, oof, oof. What are Japanese egg sandwiches? I mean, I know of like Japanese kind of egg omelets, which they're like scrambled eggs that are fried real thin and like rolled, which part of me is like, maybe one day eventually I'll get the pan and start making them here along with my own sushi rice, because that is totally a type of sushi I will eat no matter where I am in the world. An egg mayo cream on a sandwich. That almost sounds like egg salad, though. I don't know. I guess it depends on if the eggs are hard-boiled. And I'm gonna call this image done. Okay, it is kind of an egg salad. There's a crater right there. Of course I see the crater after I click image done. Are you just not going to serve me a new image? It's just not going to serve me a new image. You want it? That's okay. That's okay. It's just like, it's fine, I just got that image, I'll mark it. Alright, let me readjust for the Since there's no dogs on screen, it doesn't make sense to have that up. Let me readjust for the thing. Hi, buddy. What's up? Are you done barking at everyone and everything? You want to be real cool if you could go out and get the mail. You can't reach that high, though. 19. Alright, so this is the spreadsheet. So we know for a fact that, oops, that all of those are going to be 0. Now I have to essentially convince it that this is not that. And hi, Kingsguard. Yeah, all is well. I am just pulling up the data, or not the database, the spreadsheet for Bennu. I'm taking a break from mapping Bennu because I can only do like 3 or 4 images in a sitting, and I'm trying to hit all 8 today, so I probably will be doing way more than I usually do. Simply because I want this done. Alright, so we have 143 images. I really need new trackball. So let's see if there's any with 6 left. There's 21 with 6 left still. So we'll just make these all bold. I said bold. I really need new trackball. This is the last column I prepared. That ought to be the last update. You'd think... I stretched it out. I stretched your thing out in the magic crystal ball thing. So I've already made it do more columns. So 66, we're chipping away at this one. And what am I on now? 9? 9 has 0, that's pretty cool. 10 has 1. 11 has 0. I was gonna say 1. 12 has 1. Watch, there's probably a bunch of them at like 13 or something. Yep, there's 3 at 13. One at 14. Oops, not 16. And none at 15. So that's where we're at right now. I thought it was 142 though. Let me redo this. Nope, it is 143. So that's alright. It's not quite, 100, but the day's not over yet. The day's not over yet. The 50 and 21 haven't changed since last night, although the number of images at 8 views has gone down significantly. So these must be further back. Because I have a feeling a lot of us are looking at images that have 8 views. And like we haven't really, I think we really need Mike and Nilium to chip away at the 21 and the 50. So 1,066 views left. Oof, oof, oof. 1,066 views left. Alright, actually, no, I wanted to look at the leaderboard. So let's look at the leaderboard. We're getting there. I mean... Why can't I tell this to refresh? There it is. Refresh. I'm going to invert colors to make it easier on my eyes and maybe yours. So... Walker, in true form, I don't blame him, hit 50 and just left it there. I don't blame him. And I am at 94. So I got 6 more images to go. I can do this. So we'll do 3. I think the best way to do is do 3 in a break and then 3, and then I'll be done. I'll be done. This has turned into a really long stream. But I really want to hit it done and just be done and over with. So let me adjust everything again. And we're getting there. We really are. All right, I have 6 more images left. I can do this. Come on, transition. There we go. Oh, there's boulders. I like boulders. I like boulders. So the Kingsguard, I don't know if you've mapped at all on Bennu, or if you're even on the leaderboard, but if you do at least 1 image, you do get a certificate. Yes, we will be making sure that all the images have marks. All the submitted images have marks before we release the total thing. So I imagine some people are going to dip on the leaderboard a little bit, but the leaderboard is already showing distinct images. So there's that. Because sometimes the server just doesn't want to serve you a new image. And like you have to hit refresh, and it did that earlier for me, and that's when I was just like, nope, you're gonna freeze, I'm just gonna let it go. Because even though it doesn't tell you that the image has been submitted, the image has been submitted, all the marks are submitted right away. It just takes a while to queue up another image, and no, I don't know why that is. At this point, a lot of this stuff is just kind of black magic, because I didn't write the code that we're working with. I didn't design the databases that we're working with. I do enjoy the databases, though. They are very nice. So, yeah. Bennu again. I can feel myself getting tired, which is bad because I still have to do my slides for tomorrow. I got my slide for the lightning round thing done. It took me longer to find an image of a nice image of a space toilet I liked, that I could identify which craft it was on, than it did for me to write up my slide. I'm thinking definitely gonna have to take a break soon. Yeah, I am doing the thing. Oh, what, the lightning round? Or tomorrow? Yeah, I am doing the lightning round, and I'm doing tomorrow. Just Dr. Pamela's off because she didn't do Daily Space yesterday because we mapped Bennu instead. And then I think she did coding, so. Because sometimes life is just all paperwork. And when you're a small team, you don't have anyone to be like, here, do this paperwork. You have to do it. Yeah, I am doing the lightning talk. I have to talk for a minute. It's weird because they really want, this is for the PSI annual retreat, and they want everybody to talk about their science. What science they do. And it's weird because Susie and I are both on the lightning round talks, and neither one of us do science, really. So I think Susie is going to talk talk about the community engagement stuff she does, all the community stuff. I'm going to mention it. Yeah, a minute. Yeah, they don't want people to go on and on and on. So it's literally going to be a quick introduction. So probably be something like, "Hi, my name is Annie Wilson. I do community engagement, not a scientist, science streaming, data visualization, and I like space toilets. There are 4 toilets in space. Russia's burned up over 140 toilets. And that's all it's going to be. It's all it's going to be. And that was definitely less than a minute. So. But yeah, they wanted everybody to submit a PowerPoint slide. I was like, I don't even need a PowerPoint slide for this. Kingsguard says, LOL, chocolate, gluten-free spaces, chocolate rain. So, yeah, I don't need the whole minute. I'm going along with it because, you know. Yeah, you missed my presentation. You missed my presentation. I'm literally just going to introduce myself. Literally, hi, I'm Annie Wilson. I do community engagement for CosmoQuest. I do science streaming, even though I'm not a scientist. So not a scientist, science streaming. And when I'm not multitasking and tired, I'm sure this will go better. Not a scientist, science streaming, science streamer, data visualization. I colorize, Hubble Space Telescope images, and I like space toilets, and that's all it is. Yeah, but they have like all the scientists going on and are talking about like their science that they do, and I'm like, I'm not a scientist though. So that's why I feel like it's a little weird. So I'm just going to talk about space toilets. Introduce myself, and I'm going to talk about space toilets. Because what's not to love about space toilets? DPI says, the scientists I know can go on without end as well, so limiting time is definitely good. It also forces you to work on your elevator speech. Which is this essentially a approachable, really cool way of saying what you do in a really short time. Susie says, they all think we're cool because we know how to do Twitch streaming and podcasts and stuff. This is true. And Pamela did tell them that, Pamela did tell them, she told Terrell at one point that if you give me a bunch of peripherals, like just a bunch of random stuff, I can make it all work together, which is true. It is true. I do make tech work. I am hesitant to include that on my slide. I mean, I already submitted the slide. I'm hesitant to include that because there are people out there that know coding, hardware, etc. much better than I do, and sometimes I don't know the answer, but I'm not afraid of digging in there and trying to figure out a way of making it work. I mean, I took my on its last legs computer that can't reboot and managed to find a way to install Linux on it. And then I worked with Linux for a while. Hello, generic username bro. So this is what happens when people follow. Transition so you can get a better view of it. And speak. Aw, you guys are making me look bad. And speak. Yeah? Okay, I'll take that. And make it rain. I throw Cheerios at the dogs. So, Ripper is very flowery. Okay. I will have to see if I can get that DPI. I will try a pale ale. I think it's the IPAs where I'm like, not so sure about. Yeah. Also, I am very amused by your username. Ernster says, greetings, people of Earth. I am Annie of the Space Toilets. You breathe the remains of over 140 and such, and I keep track of them all. It is a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, so, mostly because I haven't seen you before, what we're doing right now is mapping Bennu. I hate mapping Bennu. I really do. So, I'm hate mapping Bennu. I know other people hate mapping Bennu, and it seems to take the pain out of it when we hate map Bennu together. We have a leaderboard, and right now I'm at 94, and I'm trying to hit 100, and historically, I have done 3 images on stream and called it quits, but we're running out of images to do, and I'm very worried that if I don't hit this today, that me hitting 100 is not happening at all. So yes, you can still do, you can still get in on the science, because if you map just 1 image, you will get a certificate emailed to you saying you did, you know, you did a science, essentially. It says something much cooler than that, but my brain is tired from doing all this, and I am afraid I am going to have to take a lengthy break to just get my stuff straight, and then come back at this and, you know, much later tonight, because I have other work I need to get done for tomorrow, too. Ernster says, Bennu is what happens when all the space rocks decide, to get together and can never quite find a good time to call things off. Yeah, Bennu is a gravel pit of rocks and hatred, and we were not expecting it to be a gravel pit of rocks and hatred. And where is the crater? They're telling me there's a crater. Is it this thing? I think that's the crater. I don't have any other marks around there. I can mark it. We were expecting it to be sandy, and they've already, DPI is streaming tonight. Okay. They've already had landing spots, so this is like seeing how well, you know, your average civilian, so to speak, lines up with a scientist, and in the end, we're just as good. I see a really tiny crater. That one might be too small to mark. Let me try it this way. Nope, it wasn't too small to mark. Did I get all of the craters, DPI? And my trackball is dying. The micro switches in my trackball are dying, and I've already whined about this on stream today, but I bought a very... Hey! Thanks for following Make Mistakes. I've already whined about my trackball my very expensive trackball not being delivered, or me not receiving my very expensive trackball, so I'm not going to whine about it anymore. And speak! Good boy! And make it rain! And I hear the other dog come running. So center left, much larger than those. I don't see it. I see what looks like another small one. Oh, the big flat space. Okay. So let me go back. Because I'm seeing another one like here. Planetary Pan's like, I think she's already gone. Oh, that's right. We have to show marks in order to... So center left. So you're saying this one big flat circular area is one big crater. I mean, I see it. I see it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, look at even how these, the larger rocks even get cut off like that. I'll take it. That's what I see, but do what you feel. No, I see it. I think it was just more of how the rocks were done. And I think I'm going to call this image done. Yeah, I got 2 of the smaller ones inside. Just to clarify, stream title, is it I hate mapping Bennu or I am hate mapping Bennu? It can be both. It can be both. It can be both. I hate mapping Bennu, so I'm mapping Bennu out of hate. I am not shy about the fact that I hate mapping Bennu, but I know doing it on stream encourages other people to map Bennu. And I am all about getting this done because, like laundry, Bennu needs to be done. Bennu has consumed my entire summer in not a good way. And, yeah. Bennu has consumed my entire summer in not a good way. Is about the only way I can put it. But unlike laundry, once Bennu is done, it's done. And we are very, very close to being done. And I just want to be done. I really do. Last summer was marked by a bunch of construction going on at YSU, meaning I couldn't get into my office even if I want. Like, I could be in my office, but it was miserable. And then I got a concussion. Was that last summer? I think it was last summer I had a concussion. Yeah, I think I was definitely dealing with a concussion this time last summer. So yeah, I mean, my summer has been great, aside from, you know, the fact that Bennu's just eaten it. So yeah. And I am at 90 something images. That it was that, and I don't think I had the money to get there, Dave. So I think between the concussion and the fact I wasn't sure how I was going to get there is why I didn't go to AC 500. But yeah. But I'm still dealing with after effects of the concussion, like even a year later. Yeah, we were at the Hangout-a-thon. I still get pinpoint headaches. Glasses seem to help. I still get migraines. And it could just be that the concussion made it easier for me to get the migraines and the pinpoint headaches and things like of that nature. So, anyways, so let's talk about what you get for mapping Bennu. Other than the satisfaction of saying that you were able to help science, because there's going to be a whole lot of science done with all the marks that we do on this image. You will also get a certificate emailed to you if you complete at least one image, because we recognize that Bennu is full of hate and rocks, and completing just one image can be quite a monumental feat for some people. I never really thought I was going to get above 50, much less get to 100. So yeah, everybody's getting a certificate. If you get to the leaderboard, which is a minimum of 50 images, there will be swag, mission swag sent your way. Related mission to Bennu is Osiris Rex. I haven't seen images of the swag, but I know what swag is available. There are large stickers, there are small stickers, there are just mission pins, there's launch commemorative pins, there's lanyards, there's t-shirts, informational pamphlets, build your own spacecraft, like papercraft books. I think that's everything. So the t-shirts are going to people that have marked 1,000 images and above, which is a lot. Lanyards are also probably going to go to the higher, probably people that have done 500 or more images. as well as potentially the launch commemorative pins. And everything else, there's enough for everybody that's on the leaderboard right now, right this instant, to get one of something. And I'm actually setting everything up to so you can opt out of getting certain swag. So if you really don't want a sticker or a pin, you know, you can opt out of getting the sticker or the pin. So really what's happening is, because it's the superheroes that are going to be done first, the 1000 and above. So, you know, I'm collecting their t-shirt size, and I am then asking them what other swag they want, and they're going to select what other swag they want. Once they're done, we're probably going to do the 500 to 1,000 people, and then further on down the list. So yes, you just measure the boulders and mark the rocks. You measure a boulder by marking it on its longest axis, so the longest line you can draw. Rocks are a little trickier. You don't want to mark every speck of dust. You want to mark rocks that are 3 times the dot size. So like this one would be marked as a rock, to about 1/3 or 1/2 of the dot size. And you can pick up and drag dots. Oops, come on. You can't adjust lines after you've placed them, after you've clicked twice. You can adjust craters. If you don't see any craters, don't panic. There really aren't a lot of craters, unlike the moon, where, you know, you'll see way more craters on the moon. And yeah, so even if you do 1 image Kingsguard, you will get a certificate. And I figured out a way to make sure certificates are done in both A4 and letter size. So, yeah. Oh, I think I actually need to take a screenshot of that and show that to Boss. By Boss, I mean like Dr. Pamela's boss. Susie says, I'll be picking up the swag next week in Tucson, and I'll send it out after Labor Day. Susie, we need to remind Dr. Pamela to bring stickers and lanyards to Tucson as well. Because I might have included those as options. And I can't remember what other swag she has in her attic, but I know she has stickers and lanyards. And I gave almost all of my stickers to Dave, which is fine, because the stickers are going to kids, and that's a perfectly good use of stickers. And I know there are tons of lanyards, which is why I included them as an option for swag. So yes, even though most of the swag is going to be Osiris Rex swag, we're also going to offer, at certain levels, CosmoQuest swag. Probably offer stickers at CosmoQuest stickers at every level. A, we have a lot of stickers. B, it's really cheap to mail stickers. So I should have consumed at least 8 ounces of water. I can feel it. I can feel that I haven't. Oof. I think Hydration Bot is telling me I need to get up and go get some water. I think this is only 2 images after the 1. Oh, did you find a random Cheerio, buddy? He found a random Cheerio. Alright. So I'm going to finish up this image. I'm going to just put up the host screen with dogs. I'm going to toss a bunch of Cheerios on the floor for the dogs. So you might have the dogs to look at for a little bit. I'm going to run to the kitchen. Get me some water. Because I can feel that I need water. DPI says, I'm consuming enough beer to make it count for 2. That's hilarious. So yeah, I'm gonna run to the kitchen, get water, come back out, and then we'll pick up the mapping. Hooray. Yeah. Yeah, DPI is totally drinking beer. Because we do have a rule. No drinking beer on stream before 9 p.m. streamer time. It is indeed a rule. And I'm okay with this rule. So. Is that a little alien sipping a Coke? Because if that's a little alien sipping a Coke, that's adorable, the Kingsguard. Alright, Fluffy. Are you ready for a Cheerio storm? Indeed, beer. Alright. I'm ready for a Cheerio storm. Are they ready for a Cheerio storm? Yeah, you are an hour ahead of me, so, you know, the saying of it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Whew. Okay. You ready for a Cheerio storm, Puck? I'm gonna click image done. Oh, hour ahead of Wayne. Well, you know, part of me is like, I like this one. I can do this one. But I bet you it'll be here when I come back. Because that's been my luck so far. Alright, we're gonna make a Cheerio storm. I'm gonna mute my mic. Are you ready for the Cheerio storm, Puck? And make it rain! And we're gonna dump the rest of the Cheerios and make it rain! Alright, that should bring out both of them. And, yeah, I will be right back as soon as I find all my buttons. No, I am not sponsored by Intel. The Intel you see on my sleeve, I am wearing a Major League Hacking shirt that they gave out at hackathons, and I got this one the fall of 2015. So, and Major League Hacking is sponsored by Dell and Intel. So, Cheerios! I wish Cheerios sponsored us. But yeah, hackathons are not what they sound like to most Americans. You just go and essentially have 24 hours to put something together, and there's a little competition, and because I'm older, or I was older than most undergrads, I made sure I had time to sleep. So, Cheerios should totally sponsor us. I don't think we could get it to work though. So, but yeah, that's why I have Intel on my sleeve. Intel probably wouldn't sponsor me because there's no Intel processor inside my computer. Yes, I built my computer myself. Yes, it has AMD. Why? AMD is cheaper. My nephew's computer has AMD, so. Intel managed to actually get ahead because it brokered a deal with Dell. So, useless facts, I know. Probably not useless, but it's definitely not things that most people know. All right. Yeah, AMD definitely is the best bang for your buck. All right, refresh. Invert colors. Make it easier on my eyes. And here's a look at the leaderboard. Where am I? I'm at 96. I have 4 more to go. I have 4 more to go, Puck. Do you think I can do it? I think I can do it. Oof, oof, oof. I just want to get to 100. That's all. That's all. That's all. Let's see. I don't know if anybody else has entered the leaderboard. I don't think so. I think Walker, maybe TP Carp. I know Daniel, Barbie, and German have been there for a while. So I know Walker was a recent addition to the leaderboard, and Walker totally gets candy from that. Oh, you brought bits to Dr. Pamela too. That's hilarious. Yeah, Dave totally is like, here's some Cheerios. And I was like, you didn't have to do that. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was complaining about being low. I was really worried I was going to run out and be out before Vegas. And I think I was. I think I actually did. This is your box of Cheerios that I'm using right now, Dave. So, yeah, Dave totally brought Cheerios, which was awesome. It was totally awesome. All right. So fix the thing so we can get back to marking Bennu. Get the doggy cam up because doggy cam is always good motivation. Low on bits. So bits, when somebody donates bits, follows, subscribes, essentially if anything that makes a Streamlabs alert pop up on my screen, I throw Cheerios at the dogs. Yeah, like that. Like that. Make mistakes. Exactly like that. So here's the Cheerios and speak. Good boy, Puck. And make it rain. So early on in a stream, both dogs will be very enthusiastic and like Tinker will bark before I even say anything. But because we've been streaming for so long, she's like, okay, I got Cheerios. Like, she's eating the ones at the peripheral. The dog on screen right now is Puck. But yeah, that's what happens is we literally call Cheerios bits. And there are coats. What you see behind Puck is coat, the bottom of the coats from my coat rack. And we even get pocket Cheerios. Like, Favorite Human has gone to work, reached into his coat pocket, pulled out Cheerios, and was just like, why? I've done that. I've gone somewhere and I reached in my pocket and I've pulled out Cheerios. He's found Cheerios on the floor of work. His workplace does not sell Cheerios, especially loose Cheerios. I find Cheerios all over. All over. All over. It's not just in this general area. It's not just my desk. It's not just on top of the dog crate. That's actually where a lot of them end up. But we find Cheerios in the weirdest places. So it's kind of amazing. Oh, 5? Oh, okay. I'm glad you're keeping track of who's on the leaderboard. Because some of those people have really popped up quickly. I'm just happy people are making it to the leaderboard. So, but yeah, that's what all the bits are about. And I have a container that sits right next to me that I just refilled, and yeah. The dogs know what it means when it's open. The dogs usually know what it means when the cameras, or not the cameras, when the lights are on and I'm talking to my computer. Sometimes they get confused when I'm on like a conference call and they think I'm streaming and they want bits. So yeah. Oh, you had to make up stats while I was gone? I mean, that works. Oh, we're at 140. We're at 139. Better hurry up and get those last, 6? I think it's 6. We're gonna call it 6. Yeah, see, I got a whole different image now. That's actually pretty good. I don't remember this being the image I had up. And DPI has been helping out with the stats. Before I went on vacation, I was updating with stats like fairly regularly. And because DPI doesn't have direct access to the database, I guess he was just like, well, let me keep track of how many people join the leaderboard. I guess you were left guesstimating how many views were left too. DPI has a beautiful little spreadsheet that essentially is like, it breaks down how many views are left. It gives predictions for, you know, when we'll be done. And we're definitely going to beat the prediction from the beginning of the month, which is good. Ooh, you added the numbers of the leaderboard to track the views and actually managed to stay within 5%. That's actually pretty cool. That's not bad for not having access to the raw data. And I know you say you're not a statistician, but you do a pretty good job of making sure all the things work. I really like data. "9 p.m. time for a beer," says Wayne. Like I said, I think part of me is like, I think I might actually have to come back later. That's some counting random serial numbers to estimate total production kind of stuff. DPI, says Ernstro. I mean, if it works, it works. Not Tesla tracker level. Wait, there's actually somebody that is like, give me your serial numbers and I'll track production of Teslas? That's wild. Like VIN numbers? Even my parents' motorcycles don't even have VIN numbers right next to each other. And they were bought at the same time, they're the same color. Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. Is because I know DPI wanted to stream tonight, and I am, what, 4 images away? I'm going to do this image, and I'm going to save 3 images for later tonight. I'm going to switch gears and go off stream and give my voice a bit of a rest because I can feel my throat getting sore. Yeah, I don't even have those daily space slides started, Dave. That's what I'm going to do next, is start the slides. Oh, you're not going to stream tonight? Okay. Okay, somebody mentioned that you might stream later tonight too, so I was like, well, you know, DPI can keep this train rolling. But that's fine. But I do need to work on tomorrow's daily space slides, which is probably going to be a surreal experience because Dave and I are probably going to work on them at the same time. Like, the China launch that happened yesterday wasn't even on my radar. I wasn't aware that it was going to happen. So I don't think I have anything prepared for that. Oh, you came from work, ate while DS, and then started mapping. Gotcha. So I essentially took over your mapping slot. I see. But yeah, the China launch that occurred. Oh, you too, Kingsguard. Yeah, the China launch that occurred, the booster did not land in the middle of the desert this time. It did not land in the ocean. It did hit a village. The only casualties, fortunately, unfortunately, were a couple of cows. And, you know, part of me is like, those were somebody's cows. Those were probably somebody's, you know, method of income or at least, you know, food source. And making milk or cheese or whatever. Maybe they were just beef cows, but still, though, somebody lost 2 heads of livestock. So we're at 139. That's awesome. But yeah, somebody lost 2 head of cattle. The cattle were in their shed. I don't know if there was an evacuation warning posted before this launch. I know they had been doing that. Some of the Chinese stuff takes me a little bit longer to dig into because it's not as simple as going to Wikipedia and looking stuff up. I actually have to kind of go to certain Twitter accounts that do gather that information. And sometimes I do go to the Chinese social media posts themselves. And because I don't read Chinese, I need to translate things. So, like, I'm really interested in the Chinese stuff, but it takes me longer to process through it simply because the information's not in English. It's not in English. China uses their own social media networks, which I'm not on. I can see bits of them, but I'm not like a registered user. It doesn't like Google phone numbers. So, and I'm very hesitant to give my real phone number out. So yeah. Yeah. I think I saw some craters. Come on, hide. Don't freeze on me. Oh, I think it froze on me. No. That's weird. I can switch tool selection, but I can't hide my marks. And I can't click image done. That's interesting. 1-800 red herring, because communism was just a red herring. So did it not like that image because reasons? I guess I was on an image that somebody else, you know, completed because it just served me a whole new image. But yeah, no, I can't use a Google phone number to sign up for Chinese social media. I'm okay if that was you. I just want to make sure I get my one image done, and because it didn't accept it, I'm doing another one. So we'll check the leaderboard after I'm done, and we'll see where I'm at. Oof, this image is full of rocks and hate, though. It really is. Oh, it's saved to the leaderboard. Okay, yeah, I think Michael was saying the other day that it was happening. And I think that's twice that it's happened to me while I've been streaming, so I'm just going to assume that that's what happens when, you know, more people are working on the image than the number of views that are required. I don't know. I know it doesn't take long for the marks to be saved. But we're gonna do this one last one just to be sure. It is full of rocks. Even Puck is like, I'm just gonna lay here. Tinker's in her crate. She's not begging for bits anymore. She's like, I'm just gonna chill, Mom. Is that okay, Mom? So many rocks. I will check once I'm done, Susie. Yeah, it goes faster when you get the easier ones in a row, and this is not an easy image, which is definitely like, yeah, no, after this one I'm totally done. I will do my slides and come back around at this later because I really want to hit 100. Somebody hit 512 and stopped, and I felt like that was a really good number to just be like, I stopped at this. One of the people I messaged that was close to getting 50 images, it's like, I haven't had a computer, I haven't been able to mark, and that made me so sad because they were really close to hitting 50 images and getting on the leaderboard. So, and I might email a bunch of people, or I might get the email set up to go out. Essentially people that have between 45 and 49 images. I'm going to email them and be like, you are so close to being on the leaderboard. If you get on the leaderboard, there's some swag in it for you. Guaranteed swag. And I think that'll be a decent push. I thought about extending it down to 40, but I really don't know how fast we're going to go through this. I don't know where this person is in the world. I don't know if they're in the US. I don't know if they're not in the US. And I know in my area, you have to have a library card at the library, which means you need to prove that you live in the county to get a library card. Well, you used to. I don't know anymore. I think I just had to show them my driver's license, but like if you're on vacation, some public libraries won't just let you, you know, register for an account. I don't know. I think that's just something that public libraries tend to handle differently. Did you just bark at something, Puck? I feel like you just barked at something and you were like, eh, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna put my head back down. Only your head's still up. Alright, this image is full of hate. I know I've said this multiple times. Rocks equal hate. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's appropriate. And the image is full of rocks, and I really don't like marking rocks. I like images with big boulders and not a whole lot else. Those are Annie images. This is not an Annie image. This is like a Mike Cassidy image. And I know he's got stuff to do today, so I know he's not marking a whole lot, which means we might still have images left for tomorrow. I don't know. Nilium, I think, is in Europe. And she's not as active on Discord as like Mike is. So I'm not sure like what her schedule looks like. Because yes, Nilium is female. Nilium is pretty awesome. And here's why. She's got 3 different accounts. And I think she's run out of images on 2 of those accounts. And she has participated in... Because this is when I was trying to figure out earlier on who wasn't associated with like a university or an institution. And she's done other citizen science projects. Like a number of them. And Mike Cassidy has too. He does Fold It, which is kind of gamified protein folding. And I think I found her also working on like prime numbers. I don't know if that program's still going. So yeah. Ernster says, some people who do asteroid space objects for a living think this may be a textbook example of what happens to asteroids that suffer catastrophic impacts. With respect to blowing a threatening one up with a big nuke or bomb, maybe you'd have time. It may be that you'd have to time it right so that the debris doesn't come back together under gravity. Yeah, this is definitely an example of why you don't blow up asteroids, because it's just going to come back together. It's just going to come back together. Alright. I'm sure there's more marks on this that I could make, but I'm going to call this good. I'm going to click image done. It's going to think about it, and it's going to submit it. And I am just going to X out of that because that is one big nope object. We're going to look at, come on computer, you can do this. And look at the leaderboard real quick. Refresh. Invert. Flip back over so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And I have 98 images left. Okay. So I'm going to leave it here with 98 images left because I'm going to do this later on tonight with an adult beverage because, yeah, we've been doing this for a hot minute. You saw your name? Let me see. HYLU. Yeah, you have 183. You have 183. To get to the leaderboard in both our channel and in Discord, you just do exclamation point leaderboard. It gives you the link. It auto updates. It is not the fanciest web page, but it is a functional web page. And as long as you've done 50 images, you show up on the web page. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Here I am at 98, and I'm just going to save those other 2 images for later. I'm going to take a break from this. We've been doing this for one hot minute, at least an hour or 2, I think. And yeah, we'll come back at this later tonight after I have my slides finished, after I've taken a break, after my dogs have had some time to digest all of their Cheerios. So yeah, I've been live. Yeah, I knew it was a hot minute. So, thank you everybody for tuning in, for doing a science with me. This is a slow process, I know, but we are almost done. I promise we are almost done. We really, really are. I'm just getting things ready to, sign off, essentially. So yeah, thank you for literally all the things y'all are doing. So, as always, this has been a production of PSI. It's Planetary Science Institute working in collaboration with Youngstown State University here in Youngstown. At least it's sunny outside, Ohio. Our regular streaming times are 1700 hours UTC. Right now that's 1 p.m. Eastern. Sunday through Friday. Sunday is me, hi, Annie, doing Science Sunday Hour, which is usually me colorizing space telescope data. Monday through Friday is, space and astronomy news update. Wednesdays is me again, yay! Which is tomorrow, so we'll have an update of the things that have launched, the things that are going to launch, and, other updates on spacecrafty things. It all depends on how busy, last week and this week will be. Last week and next week will be for space launches. And, yeah, we archive everything on YouTube. So if you miss a show and you miss the video on demand, it's there on YouTube. And yeah, I think that's everything. We are brought to you by you. So literally, thank you for all the things. Yeah. Thank you for all the things. And I'm going to call that good. And I'm going to roll the credits. And I'm just going to let AutoHost do its AutoHost thing. Oh, are the credits not wanting to roll? The credits are not wanting to roll. There it goes. Now they're rolling. And, yeah. We'll see you all later tonight. Bye.